time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. There are just so many great songs out there. And then there's this group of really great songs that other artists want to cover. And a lot of these songs have so many cover versions by fantastic artists. So I thought it'd be fun to take a week of Driving with Todd and cover one song that has a whole lot of cover versions. Now, which song did I pick? I had picked Neil Sedaka's Solitaire. I love that song. It is just dynamite. And I had never heard it by Neil Sedaka until about a week ago. Well, that was day one, which was yesterday. We played Neil Sedaka's version of Solitaire. So today we're going to do the first cover version that I picked for this week. That cover version is by Sissel. Now, what's interesting about this is Sissel met Neil Sedaka in 1991 on a Norwegian television show. In fact, they did a song together. And what was that song? Solitaire. Neil played piano and Sissel sang. I don't know, I've not seen the video of this particular show, so I don't know if Neil sang with Sissel or not. But Neil was so impressed with Sissel's voice that he wanted to work with her on her next album. And her next album was called Gift of Love. And on that album, Neil does a duet with Sissel on the song Breaking Up is Hard to Do. She covers two other songs by Neil Sedaka on this album, and one of those is Solitaire. So here it is. She started out with Neil Sedaka in 1991 doing the song Solitaire, and then she puts it on her next album, Gift of Love, which was released in 1992. That was also, from my understanding, her first English sung album. So I thought, okay, let's do Solitaire off that album. But then I kind of thought, it would be really kind of cool to do the version that they did on the Norwegian television show. That's where they met. That's the first song they played together. Yeah, that's the one we're going to do. Now, one other thing about this is in 1992, Neil Sedaka toured Norway, and Sissel was on his tour. So those two worked together very well in the early 90s. So here's Sissel and Neil Sedaka doing a Neil Sedaka song called Solitaire.
There was a man, a lonely man, who lost his love through his indifference. A heart that that went unshed until it died within his silence. And solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down. While life goes on around him everywhere, he
Wow. Okay. This is great. This is great. Having Neil play piano, and he's even like showing off a little bit. He's playing and then he's going up the keyboard and hitting some of those higher key notes. But her voice, Sissel's voice, is just dynamite on this song. I mean, this is like a perfect song for her. And I think just about anybody who does this song, it's a perfect song for them. It's just such a gripping song. It's one that you start listening to the lyrics and you start feeling what's going on. And Sissel's bringing that out with her voice. It's so well done. And then when she gets into the refrain, they have, I don't know if it's a full orchestra or not. They're not really showing it. Maybe they'll show it. They'll pan to it a little later. But it sounds almost like a full orchestra playing. And you get the heavy bass, you get the wood block, you get strings in there. I mean, it just illuminates the song, and that makes it different from the Neil Sedaka, because the Neil Sedaka really didn't take off until more than halfway through the song. They brought the drums in, the guitars, the keyboards, and so on. Prior to that, it was just really Neil playing piano, bass guitar, and then I think there was some woodwinds in there as well. But it didn't have that huge sound of the orchestra. It was more mellow. But this works for Sissel. I mean, she's got a fantastic voice, and I think the orchestra just or who's ever behind her, I think it's the orchestra, is really bringing out her voice. Fantastic so far. Love it. Such a great song, and Sissel's doing a fantastic job on it. Let's take it going again.
Unseen, another losing game comes to an end, and he deals them out again. A little hope goes up in smoke. Just how it goes without saying. There was a man, a lonely man, who could command the hand he's playing. And solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down. While life goes on around him everywhere, he's playing solitaire. Keeping to himself begins to deal, and still the king of hearts is well concealed. Another losing game comes to an end, and he deals them out again. Solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down. While life goes on around him everywhere, he's playing solitaire.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was really, really, really good. And so, if you listen to the Neil Sedaka version, the one I did yesterday, he's got kind of a falsetto voice, and so he sings it at a high range. I don't know what key that would be that he's singing at, but it almost sounds like Sissel with her soprano voice brings it down a notch. She brings it down a little bit, and it gives it a little bit different feeling than Neil's version. And in fact, I think it's a more moving version than what Neil did it. You could just feel a little bit better. And then she would take it in the refrain, and especially at the end, and really take her voice up and take her voice to the max. Just beautiful. Now there was some woodwinds in the second half of the of the song, like what was in the Neil Sedaka version, but I really love the strings in this. I mean, I think the strings just added a lot. I'm a person that loves strings in songs, especially ballads like this, because it just adds a mood. It can set the mood for the song, and in this song being loneliness, the strings really gave that intent of loneliness as well. But I think Sissel took it and really did a tremendous job on this song. And I think it was kind of neat near the end. They did a close up of Neil's face, and he's just mesmerized by her. He's just looking at her, and he's just mesmerized, and he's mouthing some of the words to the song. You can see that he was just in awe with Sissel performing his song for probably the first time on stage with him. Just kind of a cool video, and just a dynamite version of the song. I loved it. This was just so good. I'm glad I chose this one over her studio version from her album of Gift of Love. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed Sissel doing the cover version of Neil Sedaka's Solitaire, and with Neil having being on stage with Sissel playing the piano. I just thought it worked so well. The maestro and the singer, just really kind of cool. And the orchestration and the band were excellent as backup to Sissel's vocals and Neil's piano playing. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I hope you loved it. If you did, hit that like button. That'd be really, really cool. If you have any comments about Sissel and Neil Sedaka doing the song Solitaire, or the version that's on the Gift of Love album by Sissel, hey, put it in the comments below. That'd be really, really cool. I'm going to take a link to this video, which I thought was wonderful. It was I hadn't seen it before. I watched probably about 15 seconds of the beginning just to make sure that there was some good sound on it. But I have never seen the whole thing. It was excellent, and Sissel's vocals were so good. So I'm going to take a link to this video. I'm going to put it in my description below. So if you want to watch it again and not have me stop it, just pick on that link. It'll open up, and enjoy Neil and Sissel doing Solitaire. I'm also going to take a link to the channel that uploaded this version of the video. If you might want to check out their channel, they might have some other really good videos out there, and you may want to subscribe to that channel. And talk about subscribing, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, you got it. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff on the channel, Driving with Todd. Like this is the first time I'm doing one song all week. If this works, we'll do this again. So subscribe. Just go below this video. I'm sure you still have it open. Hit that subscribe button. That's all you got to do. If you go over here, ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. So this is day 2 of the song Solitaire, our first cover version by Sissel, and it was a knockout. Wow, this was just fantastic. Put a huge smile on my face. I had a couple of tears in my eyes too while she was singing it. And I'm hoping to put a smile on your face and maybe some tears in your eyes. And peace out, baby.